It's Tuesday night, and that means it's time for a look at all the latest technology trends and trinkets with the Loop.ca's technology editor, Simon Cohen. Hi there, Simon.
Hi.
So the story with Instagram changed today almost in an instant. There was a misunderstanding about the way photos were going to be used, and then late today, before our show went to air at 6, we found out no, they're sticking with their old policy. Can you explain?
It's been quite a 24 hours for Instagram, for sure. So as you said yesterday, they changed their terms of service. And in doing so, of course, everyone started to put the focus on what those terms of service exactly were. And before long, Twitter was afire with people complaining, saying they're going to shut down their Instagram accounts because Instagram is going to sell my photos to who knows who, third parties, advertisers. It was going crazy. And even some of the big tech sites were chiming in saying that's exactly what Instagram is going to do. And if you want to shut this down, you're going to have to delete your account. It's the only way out. Well, needless to say, Instagram obviously got a little bit worried about that. Lots of people saying they're going to delete their account. So today, a bit of a clarification from Instagram. Not saying they're going to sell your photos. In fact, they're saying that's not the intent. And they're saying that you still own your photos. They don't own your photos. So very much a bit of a step back. They say they're going to change the legal language to reflect this intent that apparently people didn't really understand what their intent was. So now they're clarifying.
Okay, so had they gone ahead with this, as you point out, a lot of people said on Twitter and on Facebook that they were no longer going to use Instagram. Right. Is there an alternative to Instagram, or do they have the corner on the market?
No, there are actually quite a number of good ones. In fact, Flickr, which was owned by Yahoo and has been a popular photo sharing service for a long time, but in recent years sort of seen the bloom off the rose a little bit, they've launched a brand new app for iPhone and for Android, which apparently is very good and also offers many of the same filtering features that Instagram has. There are alternatives.
Okay, and does this just go to show that for all of us that use these services, we're open to this kind of change? We're vulnerable to whatever changes they decide that they want to make without consulting us.
There's that expression that if a product is free, you're the product. And I think that's a perfect example of this.
Okay. Google Maps, what have you got for us?
So late Wednesday last week, Google Maps made its big return to the iPhone after Apple had unceremoniously kicked them off when they launched iOS 6. In fact, some people were so concerned about that they didn't upgrade to iOS 6 so they could hold on to their Google Maps. But Google Maps is now back as a free download from Google. Incredibly popular, 10 million downloads in 48 hours. Clearly a lot of pent-up demand to get Google Maps back. And they've actually made it better than the previous app that came with the iPhone. Now you get turn-by-turn directions, which is something that Google had not previously included with their Maps app, and which Apple brought with their own proprietary Apple Maps app with iOS 6.
So are we going to lose the Apple Maps, so to speak?
I think the next 6 months is going to be very telling. Now it's a competition out now between Apple and Google to see where users' loyalties are going to lie. And I think, you know, it's possible that when everything's said and done, Apple may back away from Maps. I mean, they've shown they've been willing to do that with products that don't work out in the past. They had a social network built into iTunes called Ping, which they shut down this year because it just wasn't doing anything for them.
Okay, we've got a few seconds left. The U.S. is seeking a ban on these so-called stalking apps. Do you think that Canada will do the same? I
think Canada ought to do the same. It's a bill called the Location Privacy Protection Act, which basically says any app that gets installed on a phone has to have the explicit user's permission to track their location, and I think that's a very good idea.
Okay. Simon Cohen, thank you so much. Great to see you. Happy holidays.
Thank you. You too.